How good is that song? So good. Great song. And Blind Boys of Alabama, Tom Waits. In case you're curious. So good. The gospel never sounds quite so sweet as coming out of Tom Waits' mouth. Or nothing really sounds quite so sweet. Except when it's by Tommy Waits. 2 Corinthians 10:5. Oh, well, it's the end of a sentence, but who cares? Uh-oh. Steve's look. Bless me. Casting down arguments and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of God, bringing every thought into captivity to the obedience of Christ. Woo! And being ready to punish all disobedience when your obedience is fulfilled. I think it's funny, up in here in the mountains, we've been talking a lot about differences between men and women, and one of the things we were asserting about the male species is that men are maybe, what's the word, not intuitively or congenitally, seem to have a better sense of compartmentalization, that they can compartmentalize their lives and emotions, and this is for this, and this is for this, and this is practical, and this is emotional, and this is spiritual, and blah, 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 blah. And I know I fall into that category as well. And that's something that actually, though helpful in practical matters, can be very, very dangerous in terms of my spiritual life, because I can have all these parts of my life where I'm like, oh, this is God's, this is where I give to God, and then I go about my day, and this is where I just do this portion for this thing, and this thing for this audience, and then I write this for myself, and then I go perform this for these people, and we're really called over and over again to like exalt nothing above God. And there are so many ways to do that, either like literally, obviously, the idol of money or the idol of the Constitution. Let's not even get into that. So many things that we can place above our love and acceptance of divine will and law. But then for me, it's also much subtler where, I've been doing this, I'm trying to like chase it more because I hadn't done this for a long time, kind of offering up my first fruits and a little bit of my creative self and my life blood, and just being honest and getting in with the Lord first thing in the morning and just being like, get my eyes on the prize, so to speak. But then depending on where I'm at and what I'm up to, there's so many things where I'm just like, oh, well, God doesn't care about this little thing I'm doing, or, oh, it would be disrespectful to ask God to come into this thing. And honestly, if there's anything am doing that I would be like, oh, this would be disrespectful to ask God to help me with this, then I maybe shouldn't be doing it, first of all. Or B, I need to re-examine the dang thing and be like, wait, why in the world would I not involve him? I mean, he's not a human being. He's created everything about us. So then, including nature, which has inspired art the centuries over. And so as an artist, my art can't exist separately from God. And I have so many discussions and talks with people where I sort of have Christ in my life, and so I have Christian principles that are kind of going to guide all my thinking or whatever, but I often will be like, okay, well, we're going to have this discussion in the framework, in the framework of the person I'm talking to, in the framework of the world, because, well, that's just what you do. And that's something about that I need to be cautious about, because there's nothing in Christ's words that says to do that says, other than the whole render to Caesar what is Caesar thing, which is like, man, all right, just pay your taxes, or don't, or, the government asks for this, just do that. It doesn't really matter, because it doesn't matter. It's all this life stuff. But something about this life stuff, since this life stuff doesn't matter, although, whatever it does to us, I need to consecrate all that to him. Everything, every little thing. everything, and I've talked about this before, I think too, but like wanting to make everything an act of worship, and hey, maybe heaven will be something like that, where everything we do will be just imbued with joy and a sense of praise and honor and humility and none of that, no neuroses, please. You know, that even making a sandwich will be somehow a consecrated act if you're making a sandwich for your brother or your sister. Um, anyway, I'm rambling. Uh, but yeah, no, that's another thing I think I have to be cautious of in this new year. It's just, and I found freedom in it already. Actually, I pray and ask God to come into me and serve Himself through me, or just serve Himself wherever He wants to. Every time I perform improvisation, and it's been joyous and it's very releasing too. So then I'm not pursuing my own ego or just making creation my God, which would probably be definitely somewhere up there for my competing idols in my brain. You know, the imagination life, or the creative life, or the artist's life. So yeah, I gotta unlock all the doors in all my compartments this year and every day of my life, and let those living waters flood on in, and let the law of God rule my heart, and win the day. Huzzah!